Good morning, my friends. It is Bix Weir with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee, where we go over the news and exciting events of the day. Dun, da, da. I did get a fan letter in the mail. Not a fan letter. A nice email from a subscriber who's done well from the road to Roota lately, both on making profits with the cryptos and keeping a sane head when it comes to silver. So I'm going to read you part of this letter and comment on it, if you don't mind. Hello, Bix. I've been listening to you for a year and made lots of money from the advice you and Cliff High gave me with Ethereum. I'm now looking forward to the silver moonshot and the paper markets breaking. Aren't we all? I want to subscribe. This is a subscription to the private road at the Road to Roota. There's the Road to Roota website on your screen. I'm now giving away $30 in paper wallet Ethereum. If you are interested in getting that, there's a subscription link right down below here on the left side, right there at the bottom, the left. Just hit subscribe. It's got more information on what the private road is and all the stuff you get with it. Anyway, I want to subscribe and help support the great job you do in bringing us daily updates on key news that impacts our investments and my family's survival. I have to admit that you have had a real impact on my entire outlook for the world. Before you, it was all doom and gloom with the globalists rolling out the New World Order. I've heard this from a lot of people. I've heard it from myself. I used to think the doom and gloom. I didn't know about the battles going on behind the scenes, but now I do, and I try to report that news. Everything was bad news before. However, you deliver a message of hope, and we need that. You give us hope that there are good guys fighting back, and we have a chance to win and have better lives. You have also helped show me that there are many opportunities outside of waiting for physical silver to make money as we go through this transition. There are. But ultimately, physical silver will be the call. It's just you got to wait for the good stuff until the end of the... I am no longer sad every day because my silver is only $17 and the doom and gloom is spreading around the world. I am now excited every single day that I wake up. I look forward to reading the daily news now to see how the entire world is transitioning into the digital currency age and utilizing Ethereum contracts. Now I see the good guys are at work and fighting back. I see opportunities. I see hope. I am happy and I am making money with Ethereum while I patiently wait for the hold on silver to break down. Even my mother and sister have gotten into Ethereum and doubled their money already. I also took out a small Roth IRA I had with a certain amount of money in it and transferred it to an Ethereum, and then he talks about an Ethereum trust, Roth IRA trust. I'm not going to name the name because I don't have any affiliation with the company. All I would say is if you're going to do that, make sure your ether or your silver or whatever you have is in your own possession, because most likely a third party will not survive a banking crash. And the IRA has doubled. Good for him. Please keep up the great job that you do. I look forward to reading your paid subscription updates and alerts. Please continue to show us that there is hope and how the good guys are tackling the battle against darkness. What a cool email. You know, normally I get, Bix, you're such an ass. No, truthfully, no. I get a lot of really good emails from people. That was just another thing that reminded me of there is a good side to all the doom and gloom we talk about. The transition will be ugly and messy, and as we can tell, we look everywhere and there's nothing but ugliness and messiness. But ultimately, it will be a good thing for the people of the world. And we need to shed these bankers, and this is exactly what is happening behind the scenes. So hang in there. Thank you for the letter, and thank you for all your support, guys. It's really cool to have a bunch of really positive people following my work, and welcome to the battle. Speaking of the battle, let's go right to Zero Hedge to see what's happening. Top left corner, stunning. Italy says no to bail-in scenario. Nobody's going to say yes anymore. We're done with the bankers. Even Greece is finally going to say no more banks or bailouts. Ultimately, that's the end game, is the crashing of the system and the destruction of the old system, the unbacked fiat monetary system, and implementing something new. I think every country might have a different idea of what is new, but I don't think there's going to be any IMF special drawing rights, or the banksters will try to get that implemented. They will try to put in their one world currency and all that. We already have a few one world currencies now. Gold being and silver being one world currencies already. They have been since for thousands of years. That's what a one world currency is. But now we have Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. So yeah, it's a real exciting time for all those alternatives to the banksters. So hang in there, guys, especially you silver bugs. Take little profits in your cryptos and go buy silver. Physical, in your own possession, please. Far right, Debbie Wasserman Schultz uses voice changer to call law firm suing DNC, forgets to disable caller ID. That woman she needs to be strung up. I mean, talk about, she's like a Hillary Clinton Jr. Horrible, horrible woman. I sound like Trump. Horrible woman. Yeah, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is just beyond criminal. I don't know why they don't take her out already for what she did at the DNC. She should be in jail right now. And she might be very soon. Let's see. Huge miss. Only 138,000 jobs added in May. April revised much lower as wages disappoint. As previewed last night, the jobs whisper risk was to the downside, and it was very disappointing print released moments ago by the BLS. The whisper was spot on with only 138,000 jobs added in May, far below the 185,000 estimate and below the lowest estimate of 140. So this whisper is a leak, and whoever did that whispering should be in jail, because those who he or she was whispering to traded on that information before it was public. So Trump needs to clean up his mess in his entire establishment. All these leaks are criminal things, and he needs to take people out for that. But remember, anything coming out of the BLS is 100% fake numbers. So this 138 job loss miss was something that Steve Mnuchin decided to do. He wanted a miss for whatever reason right now. And maybe Trump told him to. I don't know. Bond yields plunge through key technical levels as dismal jobs data sinks stocks and the dollar. What was it, 2 days ago they said the jobs data was great. Everything is odd. Everything is odd in the markets. What you hear in the mainstream, everything is odd. So just keep that in mind. Everything is being said for a reason. We don't know the reason. I think the reason is to get the bad guys off their kilter, and to make it so that nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows when the crash is coming. Clearly some crash is coming at some point, but the good guys don't want the bad guys to profit off it by going short, the market and things like that. It's a guessing game now, and it could be a case where the markets just freeze up and stop, and there's no way to reopen them. That's why you got to keep your physical metal in your own possession, out of the system. We're at the end game. Keep it out of the system. A lot of people say in September. Everybody loves September because it's the end of the fiscal year, and historically the big crashes happen in September, October timeframe. I think it could happen at any moment. So maybe a summer of crashes. I don't know. Full-time jobs tumbled by 37,000. Yeah. It was like 2 days ago. They said, oh, everything's fine. Now everything sucks. But the meltdown of the liberal media is amazing. Joe Scarborough melts down. Steve Bannon is the president of the United States. Donald Trump doesn't know anything about anything. Time magazine was right. Steve Bannon is the president of the United States. Oh, my God. The media is crying because they are involved in the coup to take over the presidency. And that is called sedition. It is illegal, and if it is proven that they were conspiring to do it, it's another added charge, conspiracy to commit sedition. I think that, that Trump and the FBI and the NSA have all the emails of everybody. So if any of these media left and right were conspiring with the Clinton crowd, with the Podesta crowd, with the even the right, and the Republicans, John McCain is so criminal. They have all his emails. Just send them away. Send them all to prison. Anyway, projecting the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up, back up to the pre-latest. They're not crashes. They're like mini crashes now. It was on no news. It just got ahead of itself. There was no news last time. Bitcoin was up 2,800 and fell back down to 2,000. Now it's back up to 2,400. And it's the network effect. The network effect can become geometric exponentially very quickly. The wild card in cryptocurrencies is the role of big institutional money. It's the role of, I would say, the big wild card is the buying of the cryptocurrencies by all central banks, printing money to buy cryptocurrencies so that they aren't left out of the coming wave of change. It will be really interesting. Really interesting. I know that JP Morgan's in there buying cryptos. All the big guys are already in there buying cryptos because they know how corrupt and fragile the global unbacked fiat monetary system is. And if they're not buying the cryptocurrencies, if they're not buying Bitcoin, they are insane. And they aren't insane people. They like power, they like money, they like control. And if you want power, money, and control for a future, I would say get your hands on as much Bitcoin as you can. And Ethereum. I love Ethereum too. The other ones are speculative plays. Try to play the game if you want. It's risky. I don't think Bitcoin or Ethereum are very risky. Yeah, there'll be huge fallbacks, when this is announced or that is announced. And we've seen it many times before. But it's clear to me that Bitcoin is going to be around for a long, long, long time. If you're ready and able to sit and hold for a little while and watch the Bitcoin go up, and when it crashes down, don't freak out. Maybe buy a little more, and then if it goes up too high, you think it's too high, sell a little bit. Put it in silver, and when it crashes back down, sell your silver. If silver, you don't think silver is going anywhere real soon, and buy the Bitcoin back up again on the fall. So you're in the system and ready for the crash anytime you want, but you're still working. You're still playing the silver / crypto game. At least that's what I'm doing. So I don't sell silver very often, but if Bitcoin drops under 2,000, I'm going to sell a whole bunch of silver and buy some Bitcoin, and vice versa. When it pops over 3,500 next, I think that's my next projection, 3,500. I might sell some Bitcoin and buy some silver. That's the way it's going to happen, because the system will fall apart at one point. At one point in time, everything's going to freeze. Your bank account will freeze. The monetary system will freeze. The media will freeze. Everything will kind of freeze. I don't see it getting dragged on when like Spain or Greece or Italy go down, or any other country, because all the banks are interconnected, my friends. And speaking of that, JP Morgan, there's a cloud hanging over the equity rally, but stocks don't seem to mind for now. There still isn't a specific fundamental reason for the U.S. Thursday rally, other than stocks are benefiting from ongoing upside momentum. And I disagree with that. The fundamental reason is Steve Mnuchin is in the basement of the U.S. Treasury at his laptop computer clicking a mouse, buying up every stock he can to support the system so it doesn't fall apart. That's been going on since the early 70s. That's been going on since Alan Greenspan invented the first financial computer programs. Yes, it was Alan Greenspan who invented financial computing. He even says it in his book. He was the guy who screwed up the Y2K thing. And if you don't know about the road to Roota theory, it's all about Greenspan writing computer programs back in the 60s and 70s to control the monetary system. And it actually created the unbacked electronic monetary system. And he was using the programs of his buddy, John Kimeny, his childhood friend, who was a brilliant mathematician. Brilliant. And he invented BASIC, one of the very first shareable computer languages. He was the mathematician for Albert Einstein when they were designing the first nuclear bomb. That's how smart this guy was. And he was a teenager at the time. Crazy stuff, my friends. I think he passed away not too long ago. All right, let's see where we are. Bank of America monster. The QE monster only ends when the Wall Street bubble finally shocks the Fed. Yeah, that's how would you like that if you're sitting at the Fed with almost zero interest rates and there's nothing left to do except QE everything even more. It's what this next article says right at the beginning. It's emotionally disturbing. Let's see. Another ISIS-inspired attack in the Philippines. Who knows what's going on that side with the false flag stuff and the terrorist attacks? It's impossible to tell right away if they're real, if they're fake. And don't get me wrong, false flag attacks do kill people. Do kill a lot of people. I'll get emails all the time saying, "Well, I had a friend who died in this thing." I said, here's the deal. A false flag is not a false terrorist event. It is a staged terrorist event, and many times a lot of people die at it. But it's all done not for the reason they tell you in the media. Not the people involved are not the people that they tell you in the media. That there's a bigger agenda going on behind the scenes, and they don't care about taking out a few people. They call it collateral damage. If they can get their message through, like 9/11 changed the way the United States is run, changed our freedoms drastically. And yes, many thousands died on 9/11, but it was still a false flag. Sorry. All right, let's see. I got to run, so we're going to end with the last thing here is, we'll just go right down to the bottom. NATO launches its own operation in the Middle East. The recent NATO summit took a decision to formally become a member of the U.S.-led coalition fighting the Islamic State, in addition to its training mission in Iraq. NATO, I mean, what did Trump say when he was out there? I guess he said, hey, you guys want to be seen as anything credible, join us in the fight against the Islamic State, terrorism. If Trump wants to really defeat terrorism, just go to your CIA guys who control it and run it and take them out. You know, it's not, you don't have to go to Iraq, you don't have to go to Syria, you don't have to go anywhere other than Washington, D.C., into those little pockets where they created ISIS and they run the ISIS agenda. It's that easy. But we are fed the daily cereal of everything is external. Everything is taking place in the Middle East, and we can't stop it. It's so hard and blah, blah, blah. No, it's all done out of the CIA. They can end it tomorrow if they wanted. Anyway, on that lovely, happy note, I should read that other my fan mail once again. Anyway, this is Big Weir, Road to Roota. Don't forget to sign up at roadtoroota.com if you want a $30 paper wallet Ethereum coin. Then sign up as a subscriber, and it will be mailed to your front door. So that's pretty cool. And don't forget to subscribe to these videos. I have pretty much daily, although I'm gonna cut back a little, unfortunately. I got some other stuff to do, but daily news breaks and video messages. So make sure you subscribe to this video channel. Big Weir, we'll talk to you later.